welcome along to day 4, quarterfinals day here at the Spectre U.S. Squash Centre. It's the Comcast Business U.S. Open 2025, a platinum event on the PSA Squash Tour. Nicole Bunyan and Gilly Lane in the studio with us here. Hello, guys.
Hello, Michael.
This is exciting.
How's your day been?
Yeah, it's not bad, not bad. Pretty busy, doing a lot of filming for SQUASHTV. You know how it is. Hey, Gilly, welcome on board. You had a good drive into Philly today?
Yeah, just 14 miles into the city. You know, born and raised outside of Philadelphia, so really great to be here. Used to being out on the court as an MC, your old role. Now you're here, so great to join you guys today.
And you've done a lot of coaching, you know, specifically at college level as well, and working with some of the players that we'll see tonight.
Yeah, I worked with Eleinen. He was at school for 4 years. We had a couple guys that exited earlier in the tournament, a couple guys that are upcoming on the tour. So yeah, it's been really cool to see them progress onto the PSA World Tour and make their mark.
So Nicole and I will guide you through the day. We start off by looking back at yesterday's matches. I'm sure you had a chance to watch them on SQUASHTV. It started with the Sobey sister showdown, and it didn't disappoint, did it, Nicole?
No, it was good. I thought we would see more than 3 games, and we did. We saw Sabrina Sobey win the first game, and then Amanda stepped up, and she won the next 3 rather convincingly, but over a very clean and hard-fought match between the two.
And did you get a chance to see this one, Gilly?
Yeah, I've been watching them compete actually their entire lives, growing up playing on the U.S. national team with them. You know, Sabrina came out really quickly, you know, showing how excited she was, I think, to be on the stage, back from the wrist injury. And then, you know, Amanda, you know, making her mark. I think maybe nerves set in a little bit in that first game for her, playing her younger sister. You know, she really is trying to push back into that top 8 and make her mark this season, coming back from the Achilles injury, and really showed her class in the last 3 games.
We don't see it very often, do we? Sort of siblings playing. I guess the Shabagi brothers is the other big example, but it's the Gillis sisters as well, the other highlights, but we don't see it too often.
Yeah, it's cool to have a couple examples in there. Also, I love how these two have different styles of play as well. Amanda's the hard-hitting style, lefty, of course, the only lefty in the top 20, and then Sabrina, she's very quick. They call her the road runner. So it's cool to have a contrast of styles and, you know, and kind of, yeah, just a different personalities as well.
Do you think it's tough for Sabrina, sort of very much living in her sister's shadow as far as success goes, but there's no doubting her talent?
No, not at all. I think she's always had the talent. If you ask her dad, she was the more talented one growing up. Amanda put the long hours in, and you saw that with her winning a World Junior title, I think at 16. But Sabrina has always been talented, just the limelight has not always been on her. You know, Amanda winning 4 titles at Harvard, Sabrina going to Harvard as well, but Sabrina is very much her own person, which she loves, and she loves competing. And so for her to be back and playing the way she is, it's great for our sport, it's great for her, and, you know, just really happy to see her back on this stage.
We saw Mohamed Zakaria in action yesterday as well, the young teenage sensation from Egypt and 2-time World Junior champion. A very mature performance from him.
Yeah, it was. He said in an interview afterwards that he was taking a look at his movement from Qatar and how he expressed himself there. He wasn't happy with it, and he's actually looking to change. So this was a good change from him.
Yeah, I think for him, the way in which he played at 7-all in all those games was just pure class. And at the end of each victory he's had in recent tournaments, he's had a big celebration. He was very businesslike in this. He didn't even fist pump. You see the handshake right here. Very resolved in how he kind of, you know, at the end of that match. And I think that works really well for him for the later stages of the tournament.
No walkover, is he, though, Youssef Solomon? He's a pretty decent player himself.
No, though, he's the higher seed, isn't he? And he's been in good form. He's been working with Ali Farag recently, so obviously adding some more depth to his game there.
And a hairband.
And a headband.
Sweatband,
yeah, which
is that what you call them here? Sweatbands?
Yeah, headband, sweatband. But I think you look at Zakaria's confidence, and he expects to win those matches now. He expects to be in the world top 10. He expects to be in quarterfinals, semifinals of big events, and that's the kind of talent he brings to this tour. And he's one of the up-and-coming players. He and Jonah Bryant, they're the next big things.
Do you think he expects to be world #1? Expects to be potentially Olympic gold medalist?
Yeah, I do. I actually do, and I think that's his confidence and the way he carries himself. He expects to be in those big moments, and he expects himself to compete and win. And so I don't think he's afraid of anyone.
Well, he's won a couple of World Junior Championships now, and I think that when the players win World Junior Championships, they tend to then go on to become world #1s, don't we? We've seen it several times now.
The scary thing is he can play again next summer in the World Juniors, which is crazy. So going after, I think, a world record 4th in a row, or 3 or 4th in a row. Yeah. But again, his confidence, and he's almost had a swagger about him that we haven't seen in a really long time. And, you know, being coached by Jonathan Power, who had that confidence as well, he had that swagger. Yeah. He's got a good person in his corner to really kind of teach him the goods.
Ali Eleinen and Baptiste Masotti also went toe-to-toe, a former student of yours, Ali.
Yeah, what a great guy. Was lucky enough to coach him for 4 years.
Yeah. And just down the road here at Penn.
Just down the road here at Penn, and he led the way. He kind of built our foundation of the pyramid, as we could say. He's from Egypt, so he did build our foundation.
Am I right in saying he never played one, though, for you guys? Was someone else playing one at the time?
He did. He never played one.
That's a strong team.
Yeah, Andrew Douglas played one for the time he was at Penn, so that's a very strong team. You know, we were lucky to have both of them, but I'm really happy for him. I mean, obviously he struggled with his injuries recently, and so you know, I'm hoping that he gets back to full strength and can show everyone what he can really do.
Okay, well, he showed us last night. Let's tell you how it went for him. Unfortunately, not so successful, Eleinen, but Masotti seems fueled by some of the comments possibly that he heard on Squash TV. Who knows? But he had the eye of the tiger yesterday.
Yeah, it was a great performance from him, winning 3-love against Abu Eleinen. That was, I mean, a very spirited performance from him. He had all the shots going, and it was just such a terrific, mentally composed performance from him. He had some very close games, especially that second game of the tiebreak, and then the third one. Being able to pull out a shot like that against one of the quickest players in the top 10, I mean, you can see exactly what it meant to him.
Yeah,
such a delightful performance.
He didn't hold anything back last night. It shows when you're in that mode and you're in that zone that you can play any shot that you want at a big moment. He did not go for it last night. He took his opportunities when he had the chance, and they went in. And credit to him, because he played up to the level of Ali and surpassed that and booked his place in the quarterfinals. Big result for him.
Where's that talent been hiding? Because I don't think he's made a quarterfinal of a platinum event for 6 years, maybe something like that. The stat. I
mean, I think that he's got all the shots and the talent and the movement. Sometimes maybe just the composure has lacked at big moments. He loves to hit the ball hard, and I think that is obviously his strength. He loves to take the kill in like a lot of French players do, but maybe just overcooking it sometimes.
Yeah, his length was great last night. He put a lot of pressure on Ali to make really good decisions in the back of the court and in the front of the court. And Ali made a lot of errors, and I think Baptiste forced that, but I think his composure in the middle of the court was actually the difference. He was very measured in his length. He found the right kind of mixture of length and width, and caused Ali a lot of problems. And it's always been there, but I think it's more he mentally put it together. He was composed. You could kind of see it too. There was no interference last night. They played almost like it was a practice match.
Yeah.
And he was okay with Ali, you know, going about blowing his nose and things, so he's just kind of in his own zone.
Nice, very good. Let's have a look at the order of play for today. You can quickly blow your nose if you like, Gilly. We'll start from the bottom there, because that's the big one. Olivia Weaver against Hania Ibrahim. Olivia Weaver, of course, from Philadelphia. She'll have this place packed out later. Curtis Malik as well. He goes up against Mustafa Asal, the current world #1. Big night for him, his first ever quarterfinal at a platinum event. Then, of course, we'll see Hania El Hammamy, who is just on this unbeaten streak against Satomi Watanabe. But first up, Youssef Ibrahim against Joel Makin. Let's get into the thick of that one.
Yeah, they've had some pretty big battles, those two. At British Open 2024, that was a very feisty match, wasn't it? They were, yeah, that was a really good one. I wonder if they're going to have the same sort of intensity here tonight.
All right, let's take a look back at that moment at the British Open when these two last faced off there at the 2024 edition of the British Open. Two very physical players, left-hander versus a right-hander. I guess that's something technically that we notice.
Yeah, for sure. But you have two contrasting styles here. Joel with his physical presence, and obviously Youssef with his shot making. And I think, you know, from this match, 11-9 in the fifth, 79 or 11-8 in the fifth, 79 minutes, obviously a physical encounter. But when Youssef gets going with the racket, he is really hard to break down. But Joel is so physical in his game that, you know, he can cause someone like Youssef, who is a shot maker, a lot of issues. So tonight, I think we're in for such a good contest. And I think during this time, both of them were fighting to get into that world top 4. So you see that? That's a good boast right there. I'm not going to lie. That's a good boast.
A little bit of physicality there, obviously.
Well, it was worse in Manchester the season before. They squared up to each other properly.
Yeah, there's no lack of testosterone on the court with that. I mean, you can see that. I think at the end of every single game, there's a massive roar from both guys.
Chests out
also,
as well.
That was a bit of a turning point as well for Joel Makin. He struggled with some injuries that season, and so I think that this was a really big marker for him to establish himself and finish that season strong.
I don't know what your take on this. We talk about the shot selection there of Ibrahim. But does attrition win over sort of creativity on the squash court?
You know, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So when you play someone like Youssef, who is so accurate to the front of the court, for someone who like Joel, who needs rhythm, and when he is in rhythm, he's really tough to break down. But Youssef has the ability with his racket work to break anyone down. So that's a true, you know, it's going to be a true test tonight of contrasting styles. And I think whoever jumps in front early is going to have the upper edge.
And you must have coached against Youssef because he played at Princeton, and obviously you're coaching at Penn, so you've probably done a good amount of work to try and break him down.
Just like any lefty, hammer that back right, hammer that back right, hammer the back right.
What's the reason for that you coach that in your players?
Yeah, well, obviously when you're playing lefties, you know, they're used to playing up and down the left wall because most righties want to play on their backhand. So we're looking at that back right for the lefty to kind of see how they are in that corner, and then put that ball onto that forehand volley and see if we can be aggressive with that. But with Youssef, you have to be really careful because guess what? He takes it in better on that side than probably any lefty in the world, right? So
quickest hands on tour, you might say.
Yeah, for sure. And when he gets going, you don't want to put him in a rhythm. And once he's in a rhythm, that could be danger.
Another question for you. Greatest left-hander of all time then, to follow that one up. Have a little think about it if you like. You can go men's or women's.
I will go right now. Amr Shabana.
Okay.
I would say Shabana and then Mr. Barrington as well. Jonah.
True.
Jonah Barrington, lefty.
True.
So
Sobe up there maybe?
Yeah.
For the women's?
For sure.
Yeah. Well, Ibrahim also told us at the beginning of the season he was going to get up the world rankings. He's inside the top 10 now, but he's targeting top 3 and 4. That's where he really wants to be. That's where he expects to be. So let's have a look at his results. Do they speak a slightly different story?
Well, it's a really big jump. It's a very ambitious jump that he wants to make, which is, I mean, good for him for saying that, absolutely. But so far, he hasn't really had the results to be able to back those up. A couple of losses to Diego Elias, which, of course, I mean, can't fault that. He's a top 2 player, former world champion, of course. And then Dasuki, that's probably the banana skin one that Youssef Ibrahim would have really wanted to capitalize on.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you can fault him for losing to Diego twice. I mean,
no.
Diego's obviously number 2 in the world for a reason, one of the best players in this era.
Not here this week, though.
Yeah, not here this week, and that's a massive opportunity for him to get back into that top 3. But he has the ability. He has the talent. He has the talent of a top 3 player. The thing that he's lacked over the years is just the consistency, whether it was, you know, from injuries or consistency of results from back-to-back tournaments. And
how do you coach consistency? That's a tough one, isn't it? Because is it not about putting yourself in those scenarios time and time again?
It is. It is. Someone with his talent and ability, right? If you're a shot maker and you're not feeling well, if you're not feeling well on the day, you know, it might not be your day. You come up against a Fares Dasuki who's on form and strong, physically attacking you, and you can't find it on that day. That's where losses come. So he needs to figure out how to get through those matches if he wants to get in the top 3.
Is it the matter of having a plan B?
Yeah, it could be a plan B, but I think also he has struggled so much with his body that he's relied so much on his shot-making ability that's maybe have let him down. I see him putting in a really good performance, and I think the first match is going to be awesome.
Okay, thanks for that. We're going to focus on the top 10 in the women and talk a little bit about Satomi Watanabe and her rise up the world rankings, but she looks like she's sort of hit the ceiling and now dropped back down to world number 8. And we've split them into 3 groups for you. Nuran Gohar and Hania El Hammamy, well, they're streets ahead of that next chasing pack, which contains Orfi, El Shabini and Weaver. And then there's the bottom 5 below that, and they're in a completely different category to themselves.
Yeah, we're absolutely loving these numbers this week, Michael. Yeah, you can see the top 2 obviously way above the rest, and yesterday what we were saying in the studio was that the top 5 are really a cut above the rest in terms of playing, but then of course you see it there reflected in the points, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think she's had such a great end to last season to put her in this position, but when you look at Nuran Gohar, Hania El Hammamy, Nour El Sherbini, and now with Amina Orfi coming into the top 4, you're talking about the Federer, Nadal, Djokovic of this sport right now. I mean, this is one of the greatest eras of women's squash ever, and you know, for her to get into that top 5 is going to be really tough.
Do you agree with that, Nicole?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great, good analogy across sports. That's very good. I'm going to ask you for a boxing one next, so get your thinking cap on.
do you know any boxers?
Oh my goodness,
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I do know him. Yeah,
George
Foreman,
it's
Muhammad
the Tyson,
Ali,
Foreman,
Joe Frazier,
and Evander Holyfield.
Don't forget Muhammad Ali.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
there
Lennox
you go.
Lewis.
Frank
Bruno.
But I think that's a hard group to crack. Right? So I think she, you know, a big test for her tonight.
Yeah.
But again, you know, getting into that group, I mean, that's a hard group to break into. So you got to earn your way in there.
They're jostling around. I mean, even the top 20, you look at that 5 that we just highlighted there at the bottom of the top 10, but it carries on beneath them.
Yeah.
And they're all just jostling for position.
Oh, absolutely.
It's chaotic. And it changes every Monday. That's
totally.
the thing. Is that a good thing as well, or a bad thing, that the rankings are changing every week?
I think it's a great thing, personally. I think it's a more accurate representation of a player's form. Before, it was every month. And so you could have a good month and not really have it reflected for a tournament which was going to start in 2 months' time. So I think it's way better the way this is.
I think the women's tour is in such an amazing place right now. The talent is just unbelievable. It's so deep. The matches are incredible. It's such a contrast of styles. And each week someone comes through and you're like, wow, okay, that's amazing. So they move up the rankings, but can they back it up? But there are 3 have backed it up for the last 5-6 years, and those are the 3 at the top. And now with Amina and Olivia and that 4-5, they're pushing those top 3.
Yeah, well, one lady that's on the move is Hania El Hammamy. She's unbeaten this season, but she's lost here twice in the final. We'll go back to 2021 against her biggest rivals, Gohar and Shabini. This was the defeat to Nuran Gohar, and no love lost out there. What's going on with the handshake here at the end? Oh dear, oh dear.
No, they were having some trouble with their performances around that time. This one here was obviously against Noor Shabini. Just a sublime performance from Shabini. Hammamy hadn't quite found a way to dismantle the Warrior Princess, which now this season we've seen that.
Struggled at the World Championships as well against Shabini, so it could be another bogey player for her this week.
Yeah, it could be, but the way in which she's playing, she hasn't lost yet this year. She has her eyes on the prize, world number 1, one of the biggest prizes that we have, obviously, other than the World Championship. She has her opportunity right now. With Nuran Gohar out, she has the opportunity to capture that world number 1.
Yeah, Gohar not here for personal reasons, so I mean, she's got to take advantage of this. It's now or never, isn't it? This is it.
And
this
in
is
the past,
the big one.
I think we've seen sometimes Hania's emotions overriding her a little bit when the opportunity is there, and so I think it's going to be a really big test. Can she just leave the numbers out of it, leave the world number 1 out of the picture, and just focus on playing the squash that's got her to the world number 2 spot again?
Yeah, completely, and that's the pressure we talk about, right? You go after, you train to be world number 1 your entire career, your entire life, and now it's totally within her grasp.
Yeah.
But can she stay composed on the court? Can she complete what she wants to do this week, which is winning this title? The first time, and the way in which she's moving, I kind of compare her to a Nicole David, but with a slightly better attacking game. The way in which she's moving to the front of the court is incredible. How she's straightening from the front of the court too. She's taking people in, she's getting on it quick, and then she's pitting perfect length to the back. So she's creating so much pressure for everyone else.
You could also argue that it's actually more impressive because she's playing on the 17-inch tin, whereas Nicole David was mostly her dominance was on the 19-inch tin. So
completely,
a lot harder.
She's definitely one of the best athletes I've ever seen play this sport, and but I know she's hungry. But she's got Laura Massar here, keeping her calm this week, and I think that's a really good move for her. Getting people around you that are going to keep you calm while you're in search of what you want.
Psychologically, she's also beaten Gohar and Shabini this season, and so I guess now she's just like, I'm unstoppable. Well. Yeah, they were pretty convincing wins. So I mean, how has she done that? How has she made that leap up in her off-season? I know she had that injury at the end of last year, but it seems to have benefited her.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, getting your physicality back for someone like Hania, who relies on it so much, is huge, right? I mean, she won't have felt like her best in those World Championships, particularly in the final against Noor Shabini. So for her to be able to actually feel like she can express herself fully is massive. And then, of course, I just think it's the mentality. I keep saying it, but I think for her, when she's having a little chuckle and laughing a little bit after she makes a mistake and she shakes off the pressure, I think that's when she's at her best.
There's also the psychological hurdle, right? When you are the Egyptian number 3 for a really long time and playing behind 2 of the greats, and you're trying to establish yourself as one of the greats. But the moment that you get one of those first wins over, that is monumental, monumental for your psyche, right? Yeah. So it's one of those things that, for her, I think that this week is going to be huge. I think she might be lifting her first trophy.
Okay. And so can she do it? I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, no doubt.
Can she
Absolutely.
Do it?
I mean, unpopular take from a Philly guy if she has to play Olivia in the semis, but yes, I think she can do it.
Okay, and well, let's talk a little bit about Olivia Weaver as well, because this is her night, but she had a tough battle in the last round against Fairuz Abelkhair. And so let's remind ourselves of what happened in this one. It went the distance, this match, and any danger signs here for Olivia Weaver?
I think that the day off yesterday will have really served her well, to be honest. I think that she faced some challenges against against Abelkir that she did not have to deal with when she was in Silicon Valley last week, and she came through pretty much unscathed in that tournament. Obviously a test against Subramaniam in the final, but physically she held up really well, and I think this match, just getting through against a tricky player like Abelkir, will have given her a lot of confidence, and of course that day off, she'll be feeling fresh as a daisy today.
Yeah, I don't think it was that physical for her. It was more mental, just getting the ups and downs of the match. And Favors played amazing. She was on top of the ball. I mean, the way she was countering in the front of the court was phenomenal. And I think that caught Olivia off guard a little bit. And she responded like the world number 5 responds, right? And the U.S. number 1. And so I think the biggest thing, like Nicole said, was getting through San Francisco injury-free, and her confidence is back. And
she's one of the best, I think, Olivia Weaver, at beating people who are ranked below her. Right now, the hurdle for her, I think, is getting over the hurdle. Getting over the line. Getting over the line against those ranked above her, right? Yeah. But I think that when she comes up against players like Sana Ibrahim, who she's playing tonight, she knows she can win. She's come through those battles time and time again, and that's why she's in the top 5.
She has got a bit of a history of bottling it on the big points. She did it at the World Championships, 8-3 up, I think, against Shabini, and we've sort of seen slight moments of that again, but should we be concerned?
I don't think you need to be concerned. It's she wants to win. Yeah. Trust me, she wants to beat those people. She wants to lift those trophies. She wants to win her.
Is that enough?
But sometimes that is that is a detriment to what you want to do. And so getting over that hurdle is a big step. So she needs that one signature moment. Could be this week where she beats one of these top 3, and all of a sudden, guess what? The confidence will be through the moon.
Well, a win here tonight, getting her through to the semi-finals, and if Shabini goes out tonight, which or could be on the cards in her quarter-final match, I think there's a switcheroo there as well. I think Olivia has the chance to leapfrog Shabini if the results go in her favour, or if he delivers the goods this week. There's lots of variables, but it's a real opportunity for Olivia to go to 4 in the world.
But at the end of the day, I don't think it's about the actual rankings, it's about the win, right? Getting that match win, that's going to give her confidence.
Don't get excited, I'll get back in my box.
But from the player's perspective, it has nothing to do with being 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about winning, right? So if she gets that signature win, she can go as high as she wants.
It's all about getting that win, 100%, isn't it? She wants to beat Gohar, wants to beat Hammamy, and wants to beat Shabini, and she's been in those positions but just hasn't managed to get over the line. So agreed, even if she's 5 in the world, she's going to watch. If she beats the world number 1, she's going to make it up the rankings eventually. Just needs to get over that hurdle.
She's not going to beat the number 1 this week, though. Nurang Gohar's not here. But never mind.
Perhaps a future world number 1.
Curtis Malik is a chap that is on form from England. He also features this evening, and he caught up with Joey Barrington.
Man that's making all the headlines here at the US Open. You had the win of your life previously against Mohammed Al Shabagi. Just tell us a bit about that, because obviously he's been your childhood idol over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it was me and Mohammed joked about this match coming up back in London Classic, because we'd wanted to play for the last few years in the British Nationals. So to actually finally play him in a first round of a major tournament like this before he retires in maybe a few years' time, that I wanted to get on court with him. So yeah, playing him was unreal, and just to get over the line and actually beat him was another thing.
In 5 games as well, so it went all the way to the wire there.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, I knew I'd have a chance in best of 5, but even when it got to 2-1, 2-all, I knew he's got a lot of experience in those matches, so I was very proud of myself for the way I managed to find a way through that 5th game and actually get over the line.
What was wicked about that as well was the end. I was commentating on that match, and the way you conducted yourself, there was a big respect there. You didn't do a massive celebration, and I thought that was very, very cool.
No, I don't think it was needed, especially with the amount of help he's given me over the last few years, being part of the England setup, and the advice he's given me. And like I said, he hasn't quite been in the form he has been in the last couple of events, so there's just no need for that.
Yeah, I mean, with the England setup, obviously with Jonah Bryant, yourself, the Shabagi brothers as well, I mean, everyone's looking to you, and Sussex, you and Jonah both from the county of Sussex.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good players coming from Sussex right now. You've even got Jazz Hutton in the women's, my sister, and then obviously my brothers and Tom Walsh. There's a lot of us from Sussex that are well inside the top 100, and even a few of us in the top 20 now, so it's kind of promising for us.
And then Dimitri Steinman, you had to do it all again, another player that's kind of on the rise, and that was quite a feisty affair, but getting through that and backing up that second round to reach your first quarter-final at a platinum. Yeah,
that was one of the big summer goals, was being able to back up a round 1 win with a round 2 win and actually beat 2 players of that calibre in a row, and not just do it once. So to do it twice in a row in back-to-back events now, like I did in San Francisco, super proud of myself because that was one of the goals coming into the new season.
When you talk about the goals, so ranking-wise, at the moment 28, you'll be moving up no matter what happens in the quarterfinals. I mean, where do you kind of see yourself going through the season? Where would you like to hit to ranking-wise?
The target for the start of the season was top 16, and I know, based on the training I'm doing, the way I can play, that I've got the ability to do that, and I've proven that to myself and the people that support me around me that I can do that. So that top 16 is well on the cards, and I hope I can carry this kind of form on for the rest of the season. Well,
your family are going to be back home in Crawley watching you. I'm sure staying up to see you play the world number one. I mean, that's going to be pretty amazing. They'll be fighting for the sofa space, all 25 of them.
I know Tori will want a certain spot on the sofa, and my dad sits in his space, so they're all going to be sat on the sofa watching that around probably 2 a.m. But it's going to be hopefully a really good match and something they can all get behind me and support with.
Brilliant. Strength and honour for tonight. All right, good luck.
Cheers.
Yeah, so Curtis goes head-to-head with the Raging Bull this evening, our third match of the evening, and what an opportunity for him.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's absolutely no pressure on Curtis Malik. He's had 2 terrific wins, one over Mohamed El Hammamy, his fellow countryman, and then, of course, the really, really big win against Dimitri Steinman.
Yeah.
So he should be feeling very confident. He's got all the tools. He's a very physical player, and he's got a lot of racket ability as well that he's developed over the last couple of years.
Will they still get nervous? Will Curtis be nervous tonight? He knows it's a great opportunity, and if so, how do you manage those nerves if you're coaching him?
Yeah, I think for Curtis, no nerves at all, because he's had such a successful tournament so far. So I used to work with Stuart Crawford, who's now the English national team coach, and he said that Curtis is one of the most professional pros that he's ever been around.
Yeah.
He works really hard on his game, and he deserves everything that he's gotten this week. So he's got a free shot at the world number one best player.
Who is beatable this season? We've seen him beaten twice against Victor Cruz.
Yeah, if he can get
Silicon Valley.
If he can get the tactics right, like Paul did in Qatar, I think he has an opportunity there. We'll see how much he has left in the tank. Obviously, the test against Steinman was physical. Dimitri's a very physical player. There's a lot going on in the match, obviously with the referee as well.
A lot of mental stress,
yeah, a lot
which
of mental
takes
stress
it out of you
as well, but also that stress of just getting to the quarters, right? So hopefully he doesn't just fully relax and just give in to the world number one. Hopefully gives it a good go, and we got a great match tonight.
I think the adrenaline of the atmosphere is going to give him that energy, that boost that he needs, for sure.
Well, I guess the match after him, the last match of the evening, features Olivia Weaver, the home favourite, so everyone will be in by that stage. We'll be warmed up, we'll have seen a couple of matches, and he's third up. So, I mean, no excuses for Curtis tonight.
No, I mean, he's going to come out here and give it his all, isn't he? It's not every day that you get to the quarters, your first quarter-final of a platinum event, and I don't think he's even going to be worrying about his ranking. He's just going to be enjoying his squash and feeling very confident and delighted to see what he can do against Mustafa Asal.
Okay, we'll talk about pressure. We're all going to be under pressure in the semi-finals and the finals because we are going to be streaming on Peacock for the very first time here in the US. So that's Friday and Saturday if you're watching. Now, Gilly, just put this into perspective for us. This is a big moment for squash, and this is what the sport needs.
Yeah, this is absolutely massive for us, especially in the US as well. I watch all my Premier League soccer on Peacock. I get all the games. I talk to all my friends in England who say, we don't even get that many games. So yeah, I pay whatever it is, a subscription every month, and I have all the Premier League games. I get to watch Liverpool. I get to watch, unfortunately, Man United. I'm not a United fan, and they beat us this week. But yeah, no, this is a massive deal for us, and I can't think of a better platform than to showcase our great sport.
Everyone, I've told all my friends, even non-squash people, and they're excited to watch it. People who aren't subscribers of Squash TV, and they're going to tune in. So everyone understands the magnitude of being on a major broadcast network.
More in thinking millions of people will have access via that streaming platform.
Yeah, I could. When I told my friends, they couldn't believe it.
They were
like, squash going to be on Peacock.
Like
40 million. Yeah, it's going to be incredible with
the
Olympics and everything.
Of Canada.
I hope they give us the homepage. Just something good there as well. So let's just switch our attention very briefly to Youssef Ibrahim and Joel Makin. That'll be the first match of the night. This is obviously the free show on YouTube, and we're going to be going over to Squash TV very shortly. Incidentally, if you don't have your Squash TV subscription, squash.tv, you've got about a minute to join us. Ibrahim versus Makin. Go on, tee this one up for us.
I mean, I am looking for some fireworks here, I have to say. I think it's going to be some explosive movement fireworks from Joel Makin and a lot of terrific racket work from Youssef Ibrahim. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I think it all depends on Youssef's racket. I think it literally depends on the air count that he makes. If he makes few airs, he's going to give Joel a really tough test tonight. I'm actually looking for another 3-2. I don't know who's going to win. I know you guys want to pick everyone pick your winners, but Yeah, I think if Youssef comes out and wins a pretty easy first game, that plays in his favor. If Joel makes it a really long first game, that plays in his favor. So I'm interested to see the approach that Youssef takes in this first.
And Nicole, you're our roving reporter this evening. You're hopefully going to get some interviews with coaches and things. Got your eyes on anyone?
Going to do my best. Rod Martin, going to see if I can get a few words out of him.
Okay.
And then we'll see. Maybe I'll go in and see the physio. I always like seeing what the physio's been working on with the players.
Okay, good stuff. And thank you very much for your contributions this evening here on the YouTube channel. We're switching over to Squash TV. We'll see you there. Good evening and welcome along to Day 4, quarterfinals day here at the Arlen Specter U.S. Squash Center. It is the Comcast Business U.S. Open 2025 coming to you live from Philadelphia. It is a platinum event on the PSA Squash Tour. Gilly Lane joins us here in the Squash TV studio. We've had a nice free show over on the YouTube channel and now we're down to business here on Squash TV.
Yeah, it's the business end of the tournament, the quarterfinals, U.S. Open 2025. I can't wait.
Always the best bit of the tournament for me. Do you agree with that? The quarterfinals just have something about them.
Yeah, I think watching the players get through the first 2 rounds, you're seeing where they are physically, mentally, where their shots are, and you know what? Tonight is the night where we see them make that big push. Who's going to be a semi-finalist or a finalist? Just a word on this venue as well, and how special this is, and how much pride you must have as an American. Yeah, this is incredible. Growing up in the States and playing squash, to have the support now that these kids have, this $60 million Arlen Specter National Training Center, 12 courts down the street.